Hello everybody, it is Al Knight, it is a Brony time, and welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Okay, here we are. I decided to do it from this screen because it looks fancy and I like it. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead right back in, and of course we're going to take down Dairy Crescent. That's where we left off. We are in the middle. Pretty sure this guy is, we're pretty sure this guy's been smuggling cocoons in to help cure the Chief Justice's son, as the cocoons can create a cure for the Chief Justice's son's incuritis. Yeah, very claimed. But anyway, we're back where we are. And of course, we're gonna start out with the, International Affairs got a memo about these cocoons. He could have used the guitar. Like, they could have hit it in the guitar. And maybe that's why they had to get rid of the guitar? Objection! Shit. Dang it. Yeah, that's strange. Interpol's all hot and bothered about him. Virginia customs very thorough. Everything and everyone gets checked. Your possession will get you arrested on the spot. And says, hey man, if there's a way to get cocoons out there, I sure like to know. Okay, once again, I keep presenting stuff, the right stuff on the wrong things, I'm pretty sure. So, this one should work. Yep, this one worked. Actually, there is one way. What? One way to get something out of the country. No checks. What is it? You become a prosecutor. You become a prosecutor. A prosecutor? I don't believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it that you told me yesterday at your office? It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. Guitar befitting a woman like Lamoire. How did it end up here? I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it. So this guitar is from Virginia. That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure and humidity ruins the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Lamoire's studio. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. They brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched? Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Virginia. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert. Are you saying that guitar was? With cocoons this small, it would have been very easy to use your guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. What? Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin, that guitar had some work done on it recently, right? Work? Good memory, foreheads. I'm not going to read these flashbacks. I'm done reading these flashbacks. We do not need them. An igniter! Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if that igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean... He means this, of course. There was a way to get a cocoon out of the country. They could use picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with access? Like a member of the band. Yeah! Order, order, order! Show the igniter! Was placed in there for a reason, it seems. It was a safety precaution. A precaution? Ah, air foreheads. At last it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Maestro, the gentle sounds of Lamar. God. First, my keys were stolen, a harmless misdemeanor, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. I see, but things didn't go so well. The smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near that case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. What's that? Mr. Latouche. Mr. Latouche, an undercover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He'd only have to check the shipping records. So, Mr. Latouche tried to examine the guitar himself. If the cocoon were confiscated, then the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was to get rid of the whole lot. Sorry. The guitar burst into flames and the cocoon was lost. And then, Mr. Latouche died, with Lamoire there to witness it. There's your case. Brilliant, man! Detective Christian? I gotta know, you make all that up on the fly? For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense, Delia. Feh! The Republic of Virginia? Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. Sure you haven't? Ha, let's you make up a story for that, kid. How'd I hide the cocoon in the first place, huh? It's not so hard to imagine. You had help, a Virginian accomplice, that's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Lamar heard proves it. You made this transition for backstage, while your co-conspirator was on stage. But who was it? This is it, the coup de grace. The coup de grace, I think it's pronounced. And for once, I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped him. Oh no. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say. But be warned, with great accusation comes great responsibility. Make up your answer on the fly, as it were, and you will be harshly penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who is the smuggler's accomplice? Machi, my boy, it's you, man. Because we found it in the piano. There's only one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice. And that person is the defendant, Machi Chobaye. But Mr. Justice, he's your client. Defense attorney accusing his client? That's a new one. I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I'm here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Latouche. And I stand by my statement earlier that he is innocent of that particular crime. Indeed, the defendant is Virginian. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. But what if it was, in fact, Lamoire? It couldn't have been. Well, you seem sure of yourself. The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor. Electronic signals? Recall that this remote only works to a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless. Yes, that's true. Now, think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lamoire was in the air vent, right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area that the remote could reach from the air vent. Well, looking at this, it seems that Lamoire still could have done the deed. No. When the shooter made that transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar serenade. Part of the stage was raised. Prosecutor Gavin and the Lamoire stand-in were in the air. They were on a tower, which happens to be 15 feet tall. In other words, the remote couldn't work from Lamoire's position in the air vent. Ah! Well, Detective Crescent, what do you say to that? Your Honor? Yes, Detective? Could we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time? Well, I don't see why not. What? Don't tell me he has a way out of this. Too bad, so sad, punk. Punk? First you were sleaze, then kid, now punk. We're losing rank fast, Apollo. Not exactly what we're supposed to see in this video. The problem isn't in what we see, correct, Darian? Right, it's what you hear. We are musicians, after all. Care to explain for us non-musicians? Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yarn straight first. You're saying I ordered the wee penis to set off that igniter. That's right? Yes? Well, in order to do that, he'd have to press a switch. Am I right? Okay. Well, take another listen. Pay attention to the piano. Piano? I can't. It's too hard. It goes too slow because, like, they have to make it slow. What seems to be the problem there? The piano sounded just fine. And that's the problem, man. You still don't get it. Yeah. How's he supposed to hit that switch if he's playing? You got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was the Diva. Why? But according to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out, if they couldn't even press a switch. Do we really need to see this again? Come on, game. This is getting a little ridiculous. Piano plays non-stop. Couldn't have pressed that switch. Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire. Well, it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Apollo, were you wrong? I can't be wrong. Everything makes perfect sense. How could it all just... Strange. What's strange? No, it's just... something's odd about the performance there. Odd? Mr. Justice, if Machitabai didn't press that switch, then he could not be the accomplice you claim he is. But everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice. You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire, but the pianist didn't press that switch. In other words, your story is full of holes. Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on the matter. Was the defendant Machitabai the accomplice? Your answer will reflect on everything you said here. Give it some thought. Apollo, if Machi's not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He was the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He had to have pressed that switch. Well, you'd better find a way to prove it. What do I do? What do I do? There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Something odd. Wait a second. What? You thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now? Okay, really, game? Okay, this is the biggest problem. The flashbacks are ridiculous. It's not much to go on, but it's all I've got. What exactly did he hear that was odd? Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? Everything rests on this. Can you prove Machi Tobai pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Machi Tobai pressed that switch? You bet I can prove it. I don't know if you call this proof per se, but I can prove it was possible. Then as prosecutor, it falls on me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Air forehead, you're sure about this? Ha! Except there's no evidence, man. Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice. On what do you base your claim that the defendant pressed the switch? The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor. Music? What about music? Let's listen to the piano part, around the time when the switch was to be pressed, right before the guitar burst into flame. I hear a piano being played, but doesn't it sound kind of simple? Simple? I think I know what he's suggesting. You think Machi could have played that part with one hand? One hand? He only needed one hand to press that switch. He could play the piano with the other. Ha! What, so you're some kind of piano savant? Actually, no. Then what do you know? You can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Wait, I know. Hey, Trucy. Yeah? You got something? Mr. Wright, your father, he's a pianist. Could he? Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands. So sorry, so sad for you. No, not really. That was just the easy way to learn. There's always the hard way. Man, how are you going to prove whether he played it with one hand or 2? You can't. I admit it will be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely he was playing with one hand. How do you know that? The clue is what Prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song. No way. Well, it seems we've come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand. Right before the guitar burst into flame. Machi was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire, and one section of the song proves it. Okay. I think it... I'm trying to think hard on this one. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, it sounds way different. Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you've realized by now just what it was that sounded odd to you. I'm sure you've realized it yourself, there, Forehead. Realized what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to the "but a fleeting melody" phrase. Man, how many times do we have to listen to the same thing? You're right, enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section? The guitar bursts into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot in the first verse. Pay attention to "Oh, that night in your embrace." Ah, play verse 2 again. They feel the same, true, but they're clearly very different. What? Well put, Your Honor. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple, but the same phrase in verse 1 has high and low notes. You'd have to use two hands to play that for sure. What's that prove? I would think you know that by now. This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. So the two verses had different arrangements. Happens all the time. Not this time, Darian. There's no point in changing an arrangement if you can't hear it clearly. And that wasn't the point. I had him play specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different, I asked myself. Ask yourselves why Machi changed how he played. There's only one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch. Ah! Order, order, order! I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, quite. Though personally, this comes as a terrible disappointment. What? No comeback? Can't believe it. I finally did. I shut him up. Very well, barring an objection from the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on this matter. Good show, Sleeves. No, great show. It's not over. It's not over? I don't like it when he looks so happy. You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing. Personally, I'm terribly disappointed. In you, Air Foreheads? Huh? Me? Yes, don't get me wrong. Your case is solid. The facts all check out. But even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence. Yeah, but the facts, anyone can see it was him. Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. But, 1,000 facts might point toward the same conclusion. Without decisive evidence, it's not proof. That's the rule under our current legal system. I don't believe it. Does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present. Oh, I think if you did, we'd already have seen it a long ways back. It is unfortunate, but at present this court is unable to acknowledge your accusation. What? So this is what Phoenix was talking about. The truth is staring us all right in the face. Why can't they see it? It's the point of a legal system that protects criminals. Paulo, remember what Daddy said? Won't be easy proving you did it. Especially not under the current court system. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Every man has an igniter inside him. Find Darian Christian's igniter and set it off. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think he just meant a weak spot, no? The kind of thing that a single spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion. I won't be able to press him further by conventional means. I've got to find a weak spot in this guy, something fatal. So, can I get back to work now or what? It may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to play pretend with this dead-weight attorney. Well, Mr. Justice, we've come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go. Every man has an igniter. Huh? Didn't you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin? Ah, yes. Good guitars are kept dry as vi. That provides the best sound. Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning. What? Fight time, Justice. If you blow this one, he'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo. What, and this igniter's supposed to come burn me up? That's almost poetic there, Mr. Attorney. All the better, I'm rather fond of poetry, and I intend to hear this one through to the very end. Foreheads, you are accusing this man during Crescent of 2 crimes, the murder of Mr. Latus and the smuggling of a Borginian cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case. This trial has already run on far too long. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud is the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Then let's have it. Show us the basis for these accusations against Darian Crescent. Okay, this is really my last chance. The key that will take apart Darian Crescent's plan. Call a witness. Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence. Huh? So what is? It is true that I couldn't show decisive evidence. Perhaps what I needed to prove my case was something else. You mean a witness? Proving his guilt is a tall order, but I've got just the person to do it. Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is the person who can prove Darian Crescent's guilt? It's his accomplice. The one person who can prove Darian Crescent's guilt is the defendant, Machi Tobae. Your client again? Machi Tobae was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darian Crescent could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that the one who plotted to smuggle that cocoon is the real criminal in this case. How so? It would require just one of the very cocoons Mr. Latus was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Virginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue we would no doubt also find inside the burnout guitar. Aha, very scientific of you. Thus, if Machi Tobae acknowledges his agreement with Darian Crescent concerning the attempted smuggling of a Virginian cocoon, the case is solved. Darian's laughing again. You unrelenting passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to. Why not? The little key tickler won't acknowledge anything. Especially not anything to do with cocoon smuggling. What's this all about? Taking a cocoon out of the country means death. By Borginian law. Ah, yeah, see? If our penis really was a smuggler, then testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking. But you're wrong, Detective Crescent. What? It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble. Huh? How? Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our laws. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. The victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure that news has already reached Borginia, and they'll likely broadcast our dealings in court today, including the part about the Borginian cocoon. Yeah, but if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Borginian police. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not going to find him guilty of murder here. Not now. Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't accuse me. Maybe the law doesn't allow it, but who's going to think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Tobae. The cocoon smuggling, your entire plan. Machi Tobae knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him, and that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling. Don't worry there. I'll get you out of the country. I'll set you up someplace, a hidden mansion. Real nice. You want a house made out of cookies or no? A house made out of pianos. Come on. Please! Don't tell! Darian, I consider that my last session with you. We rocked. I'm guessing we could treat that outburst as a confession? Uh-oh, he's laughing again. There's kind of a sick desperation in it now, though. Well, have you been listening to today's trial? Yes. And you'll talk. You'll tell this court everything. I didn't want it to turn out this way, but I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know. I see no reason why you should hesitate now. I knew from beginning. I knew. Machi? Situation I cannot explain, but money I needed. Very much money. Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definite in the court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However, it has become apparent that not all things can be tried by this standard. Should another case of this sort surface, you may have to consider an alternate system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Machi Tobaye. Yes? I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And with regards to the current charges for the murder of Mr. Latouche, this court is prepared to announce the verdict. I thank you. I only lie, but you see truth. You find truth. That's our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Machi Tobaye, not guilty. Court is adjourned. I wonder what'll happen to Machi. Well, he did smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. Guess there'll be another trial here. All's well that ends well. Daddy! I owe you both my thanks. Lamar? Is something wrong? I'm sorry, Machi was your partner on stage, your friend. Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do, yet something got a hold of him. Something evil. I see that. And he must pay for what he has done. It is not how it should be. Is that not how it should be? I'm still sorry. Do not be sorry. You have given me courage. Courage? I am considering an eye operation. It was my suggestion, actually. You mean you'll be able to see again? It's funny. I have always been afraid of the lights. Lights seem so harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Lamar lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident? As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I feared that if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth I have been running from. I was scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in there today. She could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth. If the light returns to my eyes, I think I will take up painting. Painting? That's right, she's a landscape painter in sound after all. I will paint the two of you, I promise. Woohoo, I can't wait, Lamar. I owe you my thanks too, Apollo. Thanks, Mr. Wright, but for what? You reminded me I need to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission. Apollo, Juicy, I hope that we'll meet again someday soon. You bet, me too. And so, like a ballad, the trial followed on and on until it came to the end. Thanks to the trial, the guitar serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now, but there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have them catch the killer at the end. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we are. That was the end of the Turnabout Serenade. And we're heading on to episode 4, Turnabout Secession. Will be interesting, since this is the final case of the game. I will be curious to see that is the whole truth of this case. Interesting. Shit! Someone was... In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of the story. What the hell is this? This is trippy, even for... Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Huh. Interesting. Hey Apollo, look on TV, look! Yeah, I'm kinda busy. Whoa, look at that! He's the latest Grammary, alright. Amazing! Apollo, you should be watching this! Ow, what? I was writing about our last case in my journal. Lawyers are supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals. And why now? That case was 3 months ago. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of the moment for later. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lombard disappeared. That's right, Uncle Valet did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. I was just getting to the good part. I suppose I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. What you're now seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth. Happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum? Hey, that's where the Governor's concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here, right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary troupe Grammary is performing for the first time in 7 years. That's going to be great. I'm so there. You and Daddy are coming too. The legendary Grammarys. If Trucy's real father were still alive, he'd be on that stage performing miracles. I've got the tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo. Ah, you are here. Working hard or hardly working? Hey, how have you been? Hi there, stranger. Not exactly the kind of greeting I want to hear from my own kid, though he has been gone a long time. How goes it, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you. Yay, pudding! I love pudding! Oh, it's farm fresh. And not just 1 pudding, but 3 whole cups. All I have to pace myself. Excuse me. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You've got to take it easy with the secrets, you know. How right you are. So you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you, anyway. Huh? With me? Oh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission, too. Maybe you can be one of those guys. A spy. Can't I just be a defense attorney? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? Tell me. You've heard of the Juris system, yes? The Juris system? That's right, the new legal system everyone's talking about. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Huh? Maybe? Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. The Juris system, huh? Is that a secret mission to implement a juris system into the legal system? So, Daddy, what's this juris system thing? Well, Trucy, do you know what a jury is? I've heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? The ones who get to decide if a guy's innocent or guilty? Do you know, Apollo? Only from TV. It's 12 people chosen from the community, right? Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling the new system the juris system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. The jurists cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. Ah, and there will only be 6 of them under the current proposal, right? Wow, you know your stuff, Apollo. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully people will start taking the courts a little more seriously now. I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show. Starring Dr. Wright. Haha. Dr. Wright, his assistant, Trilogy, and Mascot Apollo, the perfect team. Mascot, hey! So, what is this secret mission? The Juris system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like this system are always risky, Apollo. Too true. Everyone's got an opinion, and they just talk and nothing gets decided. Kind of like you, Apollo. I'm not that bad, am I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will. I don't like tests. We'll take a case as a sample and choose 6 jurists. I'll be the one helping with that process. Incidentally, helping how? Well, for one, I'll be chair of the Juris System Simulated Court Committee. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurist candidates, even the judge in the courtroom. Wow, it's like you have a real job. I was never that good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. Trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. The trial simulation, that is. A simulation? Huh, sounds interesting. So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, since this is the first run-through of a new system, I wanted something simple. Good thinking. No sense wearing yourself out on something too serious. True, the case is a murder. That's not simple at all. By simple, did you mean that the defendant is guilty? Yes, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? With the trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course. Recall that I said it had something to do with you. Go for it, Apollo. It's just a test case anyway, no sweat. Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. And a potentially serious sentence. The most serious in a worst-case scenario. You mean the verdict's real? That's not a test trial, that's a real trial. All the forms have been filed. There's no turning back now. The trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope you can make room in your schedule. Why am I the only one hearing about this now? Ah, yes, there was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Eh? Something that happened last night. Hey, Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission, but what about this? The Troop Gramarye Grand Magic Show. Huh? Oh, right, the card tricks. They're not card tricks. They're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse, heaven and earth. So what? That's 3 whole days from now. It's at Sunshine Coliseum. Let's go today. You can say hi to Uncle Valence. Have fun. What? I can't go by myself. You know I'm not very outgoing. Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear all about it tomorrow regardless. I don't trust that smile. He knows something that he's not telling me. Yippee! Now you can take me to the Coliseum. I suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Gramarye. That reminds me. What's this, Daddy? Isn't that silk hat the Gramarye seal? Consider it a birthday present, Trilogy. Thanks, it's great. But today isn't my birthday. Good point. What day is it today, Apollo? Huh? Today? I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day. Then it's a Recycle Your Plastics present. Yippee! So it's plastic. I've given up trying to understand them. It's much easier that way. So what is it? Can I open it, Daddy? No. Huh? You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then. Well, why didn't you just hold on to it until then? Because that would be the logical thing to do. This is gonna have something to do with either Trilogy or the case. An envelope about the Gramaryes, huh? Alright, so what case are you going to use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do. I mean, I'm going to be defending, aren't I? If it all goes well, then yes, of course, this is just a test. He wanted everyone to start without preconceptions, a blank slate as it were. There's a difference between having a blank slate and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Well, mine. Committee chair, remember? Excuse me. Oh. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good. That's better. But you can't talk to anyone involved with the case. What? Then how am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of this trial. All of it. But you don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo. If I'm in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility. For good or for bad. Just do what you can. And don't worry. I know what I'm doing. All right. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there. But you just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved. Oh, you could talk to your client. If you can get her to talk. Well, time's a-wasting. The plant intrigues you, doesn't it? Not really. It's just the only thing in here that doesn't have some secret function. No secrets, but lots of memories. And a name, too. Want to hear it? Not really. His name is Charlie, if you were curious. Really, I wasn't. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we'll move to the Sunshine Coliseum. Woohoo, this is it, Apollo, the place where magic and dreams converge. Just a while ago, it was the place where the murder and nightmares converge. Let's go say hi to Uncle Bailey. What about the case? Wah! Only a performer laughs like that. The young Miss Trucy! How often I'd hoped we'd meet again, only to tell myself it was an impossible dream. Dear Uncle Valen, how's it going? I'm glad to see you too. Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his stronger traits. Well, Miss Trucy, how does the day find you? If you've come to give me flowers, do it after the show, I beg you. Actually, we came to wish you good luck, and congratulations on your big magic show. Oh, but it is I who wish to congratulate you. Not everyone is so lucky as to witness miracles such as the ones I shall perform. Yeah, you're amazing. We get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as Magnifie's illusions are reborn. Here on stage, by my hand. We were supposed to go to the detention center. Whoopsie-daisy. Oh my god. But I think we should go ahead and do that in the next video. We're just about out of time, and there's not much we can really do in the last 2 minutes. And I just think this is a good stopping point for this episode. So yeah, we took him down. We got his ass. Of course, now there's this whole thing of all these cases of that first case being connected to this one. Now, it says it's a simulation, but I have a feeling this is going to end up not being a simulation. I think this is going to end up being a little murder trial, and I really do think that thing Phoenix gave Trucy is the truth about her father, or the truth about the Gramarys, or something to that extent, and we'll probably open that at some point later in the case. But for now, I guess we'll just have to go and meet our clients and figure out what the hell is actually going on here. Yeah. So, it's interesting to see that the whole basis of this game is trying to implement the juris system that we actually saw in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles and the, Phoenix Light, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, which I haven't played or seen. But yeah, that's what we'll do. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Boney Time for more content, especially more Apollo Justice Attorney. Also make sure to share the video far and wide. so more eyes can get on this series. Our channel is growing and I'm super excited. So I will see you all next time.